Yes, Rob. Set your watch at 9 o'clock at this time of the year and go out and listen, because all the beetles are emerging and flying, and you'll find that most of the ones that are flying will actually be the males looking for females to fertilise. The females come up, have a feed, and then get fertilised, and don't actually move much more than about 10 metres from where they emerge, laying their eggs, and then die. So
at least they have dinner first.
they do have dinner first before they die, and they have the pleasure of being mated as well.
Exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
Indeed. So they then lay their eggs about over the next 2 months, and those eggs will stay underground, or especially if they're covered from the sun in foliage, and hatch in about January, and the damage really starts to show up from grass grub right through till about April, May. And when the first frost comes, farmers think, where's all my feed gone? And it's been eaten from underneath the ground.
So the eggs are actually on the surface, but the grub itself digs down.
Yes, well, the beetle actually attempts to burrow into the ground, and things like spring cultivated crops like barley, peas, those sorts of things, it's quite soft, and they do actually dig and bury their eggs in the ground. But if it's in a grass seed or a pasture sward, there's plenty of cover right down at ground level, and they just lay them there at ground level. Then the grubs hatch and go into the ground and start chomping on the roots. So you can actually get some damage from the beetle at this time of the year. They will actually eat a lot of things like cucurbits if you're trying to establish things like squash. They really attack the leaves, and some of the native trees we have too. They really have a fair old feed.
Is it right that there's a 2-year grub now?
Yes, there is a 2-year life cycle grass grub, which is a real pain, and he's a bit different. You can tell him he's got a black head, and the annual one has a brown head. So that's a bit different, but yes, they can be jolly pesty over a long, long period of time.
Now, you're talking about 9 o'clock and listening to them to know that you've got a plague. How can we prevent the next generation?
Well, you can't. It's an ongoing fight. You know, scientists and chemical companies have been fighting grass grub for a long, long time, and they do cost the New Zealand agricultural economy hundreds of millions of dollars per annum in lost production. They really are a real problem. But I was just cleaning out our swimming pool the other day and scooping them off the net after we'd filled it up with fresh water. There was, it's not a large pool, there was over 30 grass grub beetle, or bronze beetle, floating on that swimming pool. So that's how thick they are this year. So we can look forward to a pretty tough sort of a year. And with irrigation, of course, we make the ground nice and soft, we make it lush, and we have a greater survival rate. In a drought, we start to see the numbers dwindle because those eggs have been fried because of no cover.
They really don't like heavy rollers though, as a grub.
No, or cattle, mob stocking cattle. You can actually kill the grub in the ground, but you're also pugging your ground at the same time.
Yeah, it does.
So doing one thing undoes another.